You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Days of Our Lives fans, I have got your prediction edition. We're going to talk about Johnny holding EJ at gunpoint and Bo Brady's life being saved. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I've got predictions for EJ and Johnny, for Jada and Shawn, for Reckell and EJ, for Chanel and Johnny, and also for Bo and Shawn Brady. If you're not following us, please click that subscribe button. Let's jump right into it. So our very first prediction is EJ remembers Johnny holding him at gunpoint. So Wednesday spoilers say EJ's home from the hospital and Susan Banks is there. Johnny's there. Tells his dad he's dead to him. And Susan tells EJ that there is something dark that Johnny is hiding. And on Friday, spoilers have Chanel upset when Johnny is telling Chanel he's not sure he can go through with the adoption. He may tell her early in the week, but things turn really bad for him on Friday because that's when Tate tears into Johnny and Tate punches Johnny square in the face. So EJ's memories have been slow to return, but his mom, Susan Banks, is on the job. She's doing her psychic thing. She's already laid hands on main Gabby, and she knows that she was at the mansion that night. This week, EJ is released from the hospital, and Susan takes him home to the mansion, and they run into Johnny, whom EJ's been trying to reach. And we all know that Johnny took Roman's gun, but so far, we've only seen flashbacks of him taking it, not holding it, not lurking at the house, nothing like that, nothing like Gabby is seeing. This week, we are going to see a new flashback scene with Johnny holding the gun in his hand and him taking aim at EJ. But our prediction is that EJ is going to be the one to remember this. Susan gets an inkling that her grandson is hiding something and tells EJ, and that may be what triggers her son's memory. However, I really doubt that Johnny was the one that shot his dad, but it looks bad. Our second prediction, Jada is back in bed with Shawn because they've both had devastating life events happen. So on Monday, spoilers say that Jada is there for Shawn after he gets bad news about his dad, Bo Brady. So Jada has just told Rafe they can't get past all this messiness and that she just wants to call it quits. Jada's heartbroken. She loves Rafe, but he just didn't ever give Jada the benefit of the doubt. And then he slept with Sammy and he assumed she was skanking around. That it's just too much for right now. Maybe eventually they'll reunite, but not right now. So next week we have Shawn and Jada hanging out together. Looks like she has moved back into her room above the pub. They're eating Chinese and chatting. And Shawn gets a phone call, I'm assuming from his mom, Hope. And he tells Jada the awful news that his dad is dying. And of course, Jada's upset about her breakup and angry that it came to that. Shawn is drowning in guilt and sorrow. So these two may take comfort in each other intimately. And I have heard from our leaker that Shawn and Jada are going to be together as a couple at least through the fall. So this may be next week the kickoff point to them having an actual relationship and not just that one night stand. All right, our third prediction, Reckell shot EJ. So on Friday, Rita gets a new assignment from her boss, EJ, and it may be something to do with his shooting. So EJ may be calling on Rita, the devoted DiMera henchwoman / personal assistant, for a little help now that he's out of the hospital and healing, and he's struggling with foggy memories, and he also has said he's a changed man. Now, Susan told EJ that she knows Gabby was at the house, but EJ isn't having firm memories of Gabby because I'm not even sure she came into the house that night. And he seems to legitimately not know where Reckell Blake is, Kristen's mom. And I do think he stashed her somewhere, but that may just be clouded up in the events surrounding the shooting. So EJ may have Rita try and find where he sent Reckell Blake since he seems to not know. Our leaker said that Johnny held the gun on EJ, didn't shoot him, put it down, walked out, and that little Reckell Black picked it up and shot him. Kristen's gun is not a ballistics match, but Roman's gun that Johnny took may be. So Reckell may have shot him and stashed the gun somewhere. That gun may be in the house because we haven't seen Johnny with the gun after the night of the shooting. So he may know that he left it at the mansion and it's a question mark. So the stars are aligning and the leak might be accurate that Reckell is the one that shot EJ. Initially, I heard it was an accident, but maybe not because that child's evil and little Reckell likes to listen in on the adults. And if she thinks, as her mom Kristen does, that EJ did something bad to her grandma Rachel Blake, well, that may explain why the kid picked up the gun and fired it. Our fourth prediction, Chanel and Johnny split, at least for now. So in the promo, Johnny tells Chanel he's not sure if he can go through with the adoption, and she's devastated, and Sophia and Tate are at the door while Chanel's in tears. On Monday, Marlena has advice for Johnny, probably about his daddy doubts. And in the promo, Johnny tells EJ he's dead to him. And also in the promo, Tate is at Johnny's room at the Salem Inn and punches him in the face. So Johnny's really struggling right now, held a gun on his dad, threatened to kill EJ, and then said he's dead to him, but probably didn't shoot him. It's a tough week. So Johnny walks out of EJ's life this week, but the question is, does he walk out on Chanel as well, or does she toss Johnny out because he breaks her heart by refusing the adoption and isn't letting their marriage move forward like he promised? So Tate finds Johnny at the Salem Inn, which means he is not staying at Paulina's. And I can't imagine Johnny would be at the Salem Inn or in any hotel room unless for some reason he can't be with his wife. So poor Johnny has had a rough road, and it sounds like he's got more tough times ahead. But hopefully his estrangement from Chanel won't last long. Our fifth and final prediction, Bo Brady's life is saved and Shawn redeems himself. So on Monday, of course, Shawn gets the call, learns that his dad's dying. That's the same day Kayla tells Marlena and Steve that Bo's dying. And then Kayla on Wednesday begs Dr. Russell to let her use his experimental drug he's developing to save her brother's life. Kayla says it's Bo's only shot, but the doctor can't do it. It's not available yet. It will probably screw up his FDA trials, all that kind of stuff. On Thursday, Shawn sits down with Steve at the Brady pub and tells him the doctor will not relent and there's only one thing to do. So Shawn asks Steve to help him steal the serum to save his dad's life. This is going to be huge for Shawn. He's been eaten up with guilt since he shot Bo. It was bad enough that Shawn knew he put Bo into the coma, although the family's not blaming him. You know, Shawn shot him, you remember, because Bo was holding a gun on Hope, but Bo came back to himself at the last minute, called her fancy face, but Shawn had already fired. So if Bo should die, Shawn will, of course, blame himself for that. And so he needs to get the medication after Kayla tried legit channels. I'm guessing Steve's on board and Patch and Shawn are going to steal it and save Bo's life. And this can be Shawn's big redemption story, but we all know Bo survives. He and Hope are back in May. So yay.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.